All right. Welcome to DG Funnels. This is episode one, why I started DG Funnels. So, first, thanks for joining the channel. Thanks for checking this out. Make sure to like and subscribe so that way you can receive notifications on all of the new content that I'll be dropping. This channel is dedicated to digital marketing, content marketing, scaling businesses, launching products, launching offers, all of that great stuff. So, the idea is for me to be able to share all of the knowledge and the information that I've gathered over the years that I continue to gather so that you can leverage it to be able to reach your goals in your life. So that is ultimately why I started it, but why I really started it is because, and some of you may already know this, for many years, I'm doing the finance manager thing and it's great. It's supposed to be a 9 to 5, but you guys know that it's never 9 to 5, right? Like you're putting in the work, it's rewarding, you're helping people reach their goals, you're being compensated, it is all good. And it was all good up until there was some salary cuts and commission changes at my job. And being in a single income household, any changes like that have huge financial ramifications. And so it really left me in just a tough spot and a tough situation. And basically, I was faced with two choices, and one was just to accept it and try to just figure out life, and the other alternative was that I get out and I find a way to start helping people get what they want so that ultimately I could get what I wanted. And really, all of this started many years ago when I had gone to a 10X conference and I saw a presentation by Russell Brunson, and he was talking about funnel hacking and all of that stuff. And I had gotten into funnels and I made a couple of lead funnels, and they were actually doing really well. But the problem with lead funnels when you're trying to sell leads, and anyone that's ever done this, you know what I'm talking about. The other party never wants to pay for the leads up front. They always want to pay you when the lead converts. And so they try to come up with all of these different, we'll cut you in on the profits and all of these other things. But when you're generating leads and you're paying all of those advertising dollars, man, you want your return then. You're not trying to hear about I'll pay you when when the deal closes. So I kind of just scrapped that idea, even though we had some clients and we were generating a good amount of leads every day. It was actually really good. But it just ended up being kind of too much of a hassle. It just didn't feel like it was really worth it. So I ended up at that time actually transitioning into e-commerce and starting an Amazon store, and um, it was kind of working, but not really. I probably lost at least 5,000 on that, and it was kind of a fail forward situation. Just kind of a learning experience, and it started good. It started good, but a couple bad reviews sort of just kind of wiped me out there in the beginning. And if anyone's ever done Amazon before, it's really tough to rebound from an early bad review. And the product just was a low margin thing, and it was a nightmare. I don't, you guys ask me later, I'll tell you the full story, but it just didn't quite work out, and so I was still on the hunt, and I didn't quite have that same energy, for Amazon. It just I was doing it because the idea was just to make money for the family, um, and to kind of get us through those times, but there just wasn't a lot of energy there. There wasn't a lot of passion about it. So I ended up going to another 10X Growth conference, seeing the Russell Brunson presentation again, and I was like, you know what? This time I'm doing the funnel thing. It's just there's something about it. There's something about how empowering it is to entrepreneurs and people who have a following, who have great ideas that just don't really know the right way to kind of leverage that. So I left the 10x challenge, immediately started my ClickFunnels subscription. I did some drop shipping. That was going pretty well. But that energy, it still quite wasn't there, even though I was doing good and I was scaling and everything was, the numbers looked good, and I was working with different people and in the drop shipping niche, and they were all looking at my numbers and they said the numbers are good, just tweak this, tweak that, scale it up, and you're there. But it was just that I just didn't have that energy. So I did the one funnel away challenge, and to me it was phenomenal. It absolutely was game changing for me. It filled in so many gaps in my knowledge. It really did. And when I got out of that, I was so dialed in, and I made a commitment to really seek out a group of people that I was passionate about. And I did the challenge, I completed it, and I kind of did another challenge because I spent probably the next 60 days just trying to figure out the group of people that I wanted to serve. And there was all type of groups, and I just kind of really settled in on my niche, which was content creators, people who have traffic, who have a following, who want to live that dream life. But let's face it, YouTube ad revenue and fickle sponsors just ain't really cutting it these days. And you have a great idea, but you just don't know how to leverage it, how to put all that together, what platform is the best way to get your message out there. And so I had reached out to some people in the Madden space because I love playing Madden, and a lot of them sell ebooks. I've bought in ebooks from a bunch of them, and I noticed that none of them were using funnels at all. They were all using traditional websites. And if you guys want to know what's the difference between a funnel and a traditional website, just put that in the comments, and we'll talk about that in a future video, or maybe in a Facebook Live or something. Um, but I noticed that, and when I reached out, they were saying that their conversions were so low. I mean, they had to send so much traffic to these sites just to get one person to buy. And the sites were confusing, and people are always asking, well, what's the newest thing? What's the best thing? And so it really slowed down the sales process. And anybody that's ever sold anything, whether it was selling to another person or selling over the internet, a confused mind doesn't buy, right? If your buyer's confused, they're never going to actually buy. So um, I can only imagine, though, how I must have come off to the people in the Madden niche, because they're talking about websites, and you know conversions are down, they're low. It just is what it is. And here I am. I must be like Doc Brown from Back to the Future, because I'm talking about this revolutionary new thing that's going to change the game, and upsells and downsells and cross sells, and everything else that you could possibly imagine. And they're like, whoa, dude, what are you talking about? So from that, though, I was able to cultivate some relationships, and that's really where the idea of not just DG funnels came from, but the 7-day content creators monetization challenge. It actually came from that interaction, which was me taking all of my years in sales and marketing and digital marketing and everything that I know about funnels and funnel building, and just condensing that into one course or training, whatever you want to call it, and being able to share that with as many people as possible. Because what was happening was that every time someone would ask me, well, what do you do and how can you help me? Well, how much time do you have, right? Let me start here. Let me tell you about that. And it was just all over the place. And it just got to the point where I just didn't have the time to actually speak to every single person, even though it is my desire to help as many people as possible. So that's really why I started it, because I wanted to be able to just help other people, because I know how difficult it can be, when things aren't going the way that you expect them to in your job or in your life or with your content. And the first step is obviously taking action, and then the second step is figuring out, once you've taken action, figuring out everything you don't know so that you can know it, and then be able to utilize it to make your dreams come true. So that's why I started it. That's why I'm doing this. Um, just to be able to connect with people and help everyone grow and spread their message, and hopefully we can all grow and spread our messages together. So again, thank you so much for checking out this video. Really appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also in the comments, let me know how you guys feel about the green screen. Personally, this is right up my alley. I love corny stuff like this. I can't get enough of it. When I saw that, when I bought this mic set, that it came with XSplit free trial, and the free trial had green screen capabilities, I was really really excited. Now I picked this one specifically because growing up, I grew up in a red brick house, and so being that this was episode one, I felt that it was just right in a poetic kind of way to have a red brick house as or red brick wall rather. I don't know if it's a house or not, as my background. So yeah. But again, thanks for checking out this video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.